Hey everyone, I want to clarify what went down today in the City of Oakland's closed session meeting regarding Oakland Coliseum City. The big news that's coming out of this is that Floyd Kephart will no longer be the person that represents both teams talking with the city, which to me is it's mind-boggling that Floyd was allowed to have that power to begin with. But that's just how crazy and how discombobulated this process has been and why we needed a task force to begin with, as I have said again and again and again. Anyway, the bottom line is that the decision in closed session was that from here on out, Oakland Planning Director Claudia Cappio would meet directly with the teams, the Raiders and the A's. It means Mark Bedane and with the Oakland Raiders, who's the president, and Mike Crowley, the president of the Oakland Athletics, and of course Mark Davis of the Oakland Raiders and Lou Wolf of the Oakland A's, rather than Floyd Kephart being the person that met with the teams and essentially acting as, yeah, you about to hear this correctly, the go-between between the City of Oakland and its staff and the teams, which is outrageous. And if you think about it, if you actually read the exclusive negotiating agreement, actually violates the exclusive negotiating agreement because, I mean, violates the same way that it renders the exclusive negotiating agreement inert, but it violates the spirit of the language of the exclusive negotiating agreement where the teams could propose their own development efforts and basically go around Kephart. The way Kephart had it engineered and the way the city allowed him to engineer it, and the county too, of Alameda, he was still the person who had the say. That is completely outrageous. And so he could engineer any kind of little arrangement or deal, or he wanted to play one side off the other. That's out. But his approach is still the one that's on the table, which is what I think is absolutely crazy. The other problem that I have in what I've been privy to is how the conversations in closed session went down. Look, Coliseum City is still largely Larry Reed's baby. Larry Reed's the Oakland Councilmember for District 7, and he wants housing there. His focus isn't so much on stadiums as in redevelopment of the area. Okay, that's a fact. And it is Councilmember Rebecca Kaplan who has also basically been writing her and saying, hey, we need to get this thing together. We should have gotten it together 5 years ago and we're stuck. Both Larry and Rebecca are speaking essentially with the same voice from that perspective in terms of getting this done. But Larry wants, as I understand Larry, wants more of the housing deal as opposed to something that focuses on the August 11th NFL owners meeting. The mayor, Libby Schaaf, my god sister, doesn't seem focused, to be blunt, on the August 11th NFL owners meeting. And to me, it's as if Libby, I'm just going to say this, is acting as if she's going to go along with this politically, go along with it, let the Raiders move and have the A's, and the A's get what they want, and we maintain the A's and the Raiders leave. Because she seems to be under, by action, the impression that the Raiders are less popular than the A's, which I think is a crazy idea, and therefore, okay, we can sort of let them go. If that weren't the case, there would have been a complete, full-blown public effort to retain the Raiders, okay? And there would have been more of holding Mark Davis' feet to the fire and saying, hey, look, if you're going to work with us, you can't work with Carson. You got to pick, you got to choose right now, pal. You can't do it this way. We would have been hardballing this stuff. We're not hardballing on it, and that's the mayor. The mayor's got to decide to be hardball on this stuff. Take my proposal. Oh, look, okay, even if she doesn't take my proposal, have a process that we can count on that says we're going to do this, and we're going to save these teams, and we're going to do this in a way that doesn't cost public money, and we're going to do this in a way that satisfies a timetable that everyone will like, and here's what it is. Boom, lay it out there, deal with the criticisms, fight like hell, make the adjustments where necessary. We're not getting that. We're not getting that, and we can get that. Okay, we can get that. This is a matter of an Oakland that has the will and the initiative to complete big projects, and right now it doesn't have that. Okay, it doesn't have that. The ideal situation, rather than having these bureaucrats at the table, is to have a true mix of people who are city and county representatives and people who understand how to do deals, who are developers and investment bankers at the table. This is too much inside government play. That's the problem with this process right now. And to have one guy, Kephart, negotiating on behalf of the city, essentially for his own project, heck, no wonder he thought that he had the temerity to be able to say, well, you know what, I'll take money from the city and the county for my project, and then I'll buy a portion of the Raiders with it. And even if he says that's not what the money's going to be for, that's what it looks like. Okay? Are we ready for August 11th right now? The answer is this. No, we're not.